I am still continuing with my rock crawler build, and I'm pushing on to the final stages, and that's wrapping this thing up. Literally, I'm putting my vinyl wrap on it, and that's pretty satisfying considering all the work that I've done over the better part of the last year to try and get it to this point. And so it's that satisfying part. It's just like wiring up lights and stuff. It's tedious, but it's satisfying. I started building this rock crawler nearly 1 year ago. It all started with an idea that was to build a fun, functional rock crawler that wasn't going to break the bank. I didn't have enough money to build a fancy portal axle buggy or a 40 spline buggy with aftermarket axles and crate motors. But what I could do was build with my own hands just a small, functional little rear steer rock crawler. I knew it was going to take time and it was going to take a ton of labor, but I thought it was going to be a fun project to undertake. For the axles, I used a Ford Super Duty front, a 14-bolt rear with Ford Super Duty outers. That way, I could have sharp steering all the way around and have the same outers all the way around. This was a cheap, easy way to get reliable rear steer for not that much money. For the motor, it was a 4.3 Vortec that came out of an old Blazer. Now, by buying that with the Blazer, I got a motor, a transmission, and the wiring harness all together, and then I scrapped the rest of the Blazer. This gave me a good base to start with. I then made videos of completely tearing down that motor and going through that motor, and I'm glad I did because I found that the head was nearly rusted shut inside, and that was a good thing to do, to look inside that motor to prevent further problems down the road. What I did next was begin building a chassis around the motor and transmission. I didn't have a transfer case yet, but I did have an Atlas transfer case in my other rock crawler that I could take the measurements from, and I could take those measurements and try and build everything as tight as I could around it. This project was completely labor intensive. Building a chassis myself took a lot longer than it would just buying a chassis from someone else, cutting all the brackets off the axle and grinding them smooth, modifying different axle trusses that are available out there, as well as link mounts to make them fit where I needed them to fit. It was very labor intensive, but it was a very pretty much budget friendly way to do this. This last year was one of the most challenging years I've ever had, and challenging in a good way. By building a brand new rock crawler myself on YouTube, videoing the entire thing, editing all the videos, putting the videos out there, continuing to wheel my old rock crawler and make videos on that the entire year, not missing on average at least a video a week, if not more. I'm really surprised at what I was able to do. I pretty much had no wasted time this last year. I was always doing something, whether it was working in the garage, editing videos, or out rock crawling. It was one of the busiest years of my life, but one of the most rewarding as well. This definitely won't be one of the fanciest or flashiest rock crawlers running around out there. However, it will be functional and we'll still have a lot of fun with it. The kids will have a lot of fun learning to drive it over the years, and I'll still have a lot of fun driving it. Rock crawling isn't the only thing we do. We enjoy all things off-road. We like getting out dirt biking. We like getting out camping. We like getting out going side-by-side riding. We like getting out and going jeeping. So I don't want to just go all in on a rock crawler. That's why building something like this that's reliable, functional, and not crazy expensive, I think, will give us a lot of fun for years to come. I have to get video of this because after the first trip, it will not look like this ever again. So nice, so clean. Got a kind of a lens flutter going on there. So there it is. She's all wrapped up. All I gotta do is finish putting in the winch line and checking the transmission fluid again, and they gotta put the inside panels back in. I've got to get some shots of it all nice and shiny because I know it won't stay like this for very long. It only takes a couple trails to scratch up all the underneath and scratch the sides and everything up, but hey, it can look good for a few minutes, right? For this one I went with a carbon fiber gloss vinyl wrap. On my other one I had started with a carbon fiber that wasn't gloss and it was hard to clean, so this time I wanted to try a carbon fiber gloss. I still got a few air bubbles in the wrap there that I got to work out, but that's not a big deal. But I'm pretty happy with the way it looks and the way it came out. Looks pretty mean. And one last shot from the back. Yep, came out pretty good. Tried to keep it as small as I could. But man, what a project. There it is. Oh gosh. It's still not 100% done yet, but I'm very close. I'm very close. Couple small things I gotta wrap up. Gotta put the winch line in the front, which I also use as a suck down winch. And a few other odds and ends. The interior panels aren't in there right now. Gotta add a little bit more transmission fluid, stuff like that. Just regular maintenance items, but yeah, I'm happy. I am so close. Got to adjust the seat belts a little bit more, stuff like that, but really getting close to getting this thing trail operational. Sure been working hard to try and get it to this point, and I'm staying enthusiastic because it is so close, and I am so close. So the next step, I need to take it out on a trail run and make sure that it works. That's one of the most important things. So if I can take it on a trail run without any major problems, just a local trail over here, then I will head to Sand Hollow. And that's my goal. That's my goal, to get out there. So I'm gonna keep pushing, through these late nights and try to get out to Sand Hollow. That's my goal.